Okay, I just wanted to show off the latest progress on my Daisy Seed bass, custom guitar pedals. So what you're looking at here is I've made a pedal board with tuner, 1, 2, 3 of the custom digital guitar pedals that I designed and wrote the software for that are built around Electrosmith's Daisy Seed chip, and then a Strymon Iridium at the end to act as the amp and cap simulator. Also have a Toria Mini Lab here. Really, I'm just using it as a Midi controller. So all of these pedals, the custom ones are controllable via Midi, which I think is pretty cool. So you can actually change the effect on the fly. So let me just show a couple things. So each one of these pedals is set up to be a different effect. This is what it sounds like with nothing. I've got a simple chorus here. Got tremolo here. This is a modulated tremolo, so it's it changes the oscillations from like slow to fast instead of just being a fixed rate, which is kind of cool. And then I've got a stereo effect at the end. This one's just an auto panner, so if you have headphones on, you can hear it's gonna pan the signal left and right between the two speakers. It's just kind of a cool warbly effect, and especially if you like combine it with the tremolo or something, get these really interesting like swoopy sounds, and you can make it go faster or or whatever. So what's really kind of cool about these pedals is that each one of them is actually a multi-effect unit. So right now it's just kind of like your typical setup where I've got a chorus, a trem, and something else, but you can actually change these to be different effects. So right now I've only made 4 different effects that can run on any one of these modules. So I've got a simple overdrive, a chorus, this tremolo, and the auto panning effect. But you can make a ton more, and that's something that's sort of on my list of things to do. And then you can switch them on the fly. Like you can either use the menu and go into the settings and change one of these to be a different effect, or you can also use the MIDI things as well. So like if I want to change the the first one to be an overdrive, I can just boom, click on that, and it switches it. So now I've got this like overdrive into a trem into my auto panning, which is pretty cool. Or like I could switch the order. Like to say I want to have the overdrive after the trem, I can do trem on the first and overdrive on the second. And this gives it kind of a bit of a different sound. And then you can also control the parameters via MIDI too. So if I change the MIDI channel to be the first channel, which is this device, I can actually, I can change the frequency of the tremolo. So I can maybe have it not oscillate, and I can have it, here, let's turn off the oscillation. So now it's just a fast trem. I can use this slider, the mod wheel, to slow it down to a really slow trem. So all these things are configurable on the fly. You could program it, if you had a little MIDI pedal board to, switch between songs, you could have one button kind of click the arrangement, and change the arrangement of your whole pedal board in like one go, which is pretty awesome. And I think what's cool about this compared to like your traditional multi-effect devices, like traditionally you'd have like, a bigger device where, you've got a bunch of different effects in one little box, and, maybe you could run, a couple of them in parallel to create like a sort of simulated pedal board. But you're always kind of like limited by the processing power of the overall unit, in terms of all that stuff. So what's cool about this is each one of these little units can focus on doing a really good job of being a trem or an overdrive or whatever, and use all the processing power of the Daisy Seed just for that one effect. And then you can have as many of these as you want in a row, and each one's going to have the full processing power and can be really good at whatever effect you want it to do. But then anytime you want to swap around the order or change things, just like a pedal board, instead of having to pick up your pedal and move it, you can just use MIDI to kind of reconfigure these things on the fly and switch between presets and all that stuff. So really pretty cool stuff. And what I love about this too, compared to like your traditional sort of multi-pedal, is you still have all the knobs connected. Like, yes, there's a menu on here and there's a screen, and you can drive through and like, you know, change the settings on the overdrive or, you know, whatever you want. But they're also all connected to knobs. So if, you know, if you want to actually just use the physical knobs, you can do that too. And each effect has a dedicated set of knobs, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so it's really fun. I'm just going to play a little bit, mess with some of the sounds here. Maybe slow down my auto pan and make it not as impactful. Trem into a chorus instead. I don't know what that's going to sound like. Overdrive at the beginning instead of the trem. Maybe I want to not make it as overdriven, just like a light. Anyway, just wanted to show off my progress. Definitely would love it if somebody wants to contribute and help make some more effects for these. I think that's part of the fun, is having more effects than just the 4 I've made so far. But it's coming along pretty nicely. Thanks for watching.